19 years old, you drink like 12 beers, wake up the next morning, you feel fine, right? It's like you had orange juice all night, no effect at all. I'm at that age now, I have like 3 beers. I wake up the next day, I walk around my apartment like my 80-year-old grandmother walking around the mall, you know? Just walking around, it's hot. Just gotta sit down for a second. I know I just crashed for 12 hours on my bed and only walked into the living room, but I'm exhausted. My wife's not such a fan of the booze. Like, I have this best friend, we've been best friends for like 30 years. And she's always like, you guys can't do anything without beer. And I'm like, come on, that's not true. Let's not. So my buddy was gonna come over and I'm like, listen, let's not drink just to prove to my wife we can hang out without beer. And this is ridiculous. We're like staring at the ceiling for like 3 hours. My wife walks in, she's laughing. She's like, look at you two, what's the last thing you guys did without beer? My buddy's like, we built a fort. They don't get it, though, when you're married and your friends aren't. Even like I was talking to a buddy recently, and he goes, I gotta tell you something. You can't tell anyone, not even your wife. I'm like, gossip is all we have. Gossip is like ammunition, right, guys? We save it. I had my wife come home and be like, I asked you to do one thing, just the dishes, one thing. Why couldn't you do it? One thing. I'm like, because Larry called and was telling me he's having an affair. She's like, what? With who? Knock out these dishes and I'll tell you. One dish, one word. I got one friend who just moved in with his girlfriend. He's very excited. They got all new furniture. He calls me up and he's describing his bed. He goes, we got a new bed, man. It's made of cherry oak and goose down. What's your bed made of? I'm like, lies and broken promises. I climbed into bed the other night. I'm not even in the bed yet, and I hear my wife go, yeah, you know, hot sex is on its way after a sigh like that, yeah? I'm standing at the foot of the bed in my underwear. I'm like, what's with the sigh? She goes, you climb into bed the same way. It's so routine. What, am I supposed to swan dive off the dresser? It's a bed, man. There's only so many ways to climb into it. Like, I gotta tell you, it takes the wind out of my sails when you sigh with disappointment, because it's me again. I got the only wife going, please, let it be a burglar. Let it be a burglar. Anybody but him. You gotta work at the sex. And people tell you to do foreplay. That's crunch the numbers, man. That's not realistic. You work all day, you get home by 6, you gotta get dinner ready, then you gotta get your meal ready for lunch the next day at work. Maybe you play with your kids a little. By the time it's all over, 10 o'clock at night. Now you want me to rub your back? It's not happening, man. I'll rub you on a Sunday, but during the week, it's too much. I just barter with my wife now for sex. I'm like, if you sex me right now, as soon as we're done, I'll vacuum the whole apartment. Sometimes I'm having sex and I know she's not even into it. You can tell, like, she's just laying there like she's trying to get a tan and I'm blocking her sun. I'm literally talking her through it like an earthquake. You know, just keep your eyes closed. It'll be over in like 30 seconds. Don't cry. You ruin it for everybody when you cry. You gotta work at it, man. Like, we got tapes. That's the latest. We got these tapes on how to heat up the sex. They were in a magazine article, and they're like, don't worry, the tapes come in a brown package. It's very discreet. None of your neighbors will know what you're getting. And it works. It's very discreet, little brown package, you're fine. But then they send you catalogs over the next 3 months. You know, with like dildos and handcuffs and vibrators on the cover. Right? And the magazines are so thick, they don't fit in the mailbox, so they just leave them laying on the apartment lobby floor with my name and address on. I'm not coming home till 7 at night. I'm like, who's seeing this? Because you know people are walking in, seeing the magazine, like, what's going on in that apartment? Yeah? Nothing. That's the ironic part. And this is the lady's big advice on the tape. She goes, get completely naked and gently rub your naked mate's body with a feather before you have sex. How are you going to rub somebody buck naked with a feather and not laugh your ass off the entire time? And my wife was into it. She's like, yeah, rub me with a feather. I go, where am I going to get a feather in New York City? What, am I going to rub you with a dirty pigeon feather?